And that sounds a lot like my life too. So I can totally understand. So
Isn't
what
it
was
better
it?
now that you can be who you are? Isn't it better to be who you are?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think of being an indigo child, it was odd enough to find that I was like a whale child that pinged in on things like satellites. But when you're super, super, super intuitive and you're kind of tuning in to everybody's emotions and you're feeling them, it begins to be this crisis, a crisis where you start to overanalyze, and you're analyzing how they're looking at you, and you're analyzing how you're feeling, and pretty soon you forget who you are, whether you're them or whether you're you, or that sounds strange, but I'm sure you can focus on that, can't you?
I can. Oh, sure. And you're doing that, analyzing from a place of projection. Because when you have a lot of raw intuitive ability and you don't have the right kind of channels, you don't have the tools to use it, you're just, I was all over the place, which is kind of why for me I sort of shut it down for a long time. I was all over the place. So this analysis that you're talking about, do they like me, do I fit in? And when you add intuitive information, you add empathy, I mean, you're a hot mess. You do it from that place of projection and you're not going to get accurate information anyway. One of the things that I'm so passionate, and it's interesting, Emery, I'm working with a lot of teenagers now. I have a lot of clients who are adults in all walks of life, and I'm starting to see come into my practice more and more teenagers, and especially teenage boys, like 16, 17, 18, who are experiencing, I'm going to say like psychic phenomena for kind of a big blanket word, and don't know what to do with their intuition, and yet know that there's something they're meant to do. They're not swallowing theirs like I did with mine. They want to use that and come to grips with it. And one of the only ways that we can connect with our intuition is through being absolutely present in the moment, not coming from that place of projection, but allowing ourselves to be exactly where we are, showing up as we are all the time. That's hard when you're 16, 17, 18. Heck, I just turned 49. It's hard when you're 49, right? But that present connection is what's absolutely necessary to activate, engage your intuition.
I don't think that ever, in a way, do we ever stop? Do we ever really stop comparing ourselves? I mean, I think about the neighbors on my street at Christmas time. One person's lights go on and the next person's over, trying to beat or join them. Everybody's always super hyper aware of how they fit into stuff. And my sense is that we never stop worrying. But tell me about fear. Tell me, we are already talking about fear, but how does this living without fear, how exactly, do you have a meditation? Do you have anything that you do specifically when you're finding yourself in a fearful situation and you don't want to feel that?
Oh, absolutely. And I don't know about living without fear, because fear is a really important trigger, right? We have to listen. Fear means, hey, pay attention. And so I don't know if I can live without fear. I feel like when I get scared, it's because I'm projecting away from the present moment. And so when I start to feel afraid, the quickest thing I can do is put my hand on my heart and say, I am here. I am here in this moment. I feel my heartbeat. I feel the pulse of the divine within me. I am here. From that place of being right here, I can pay attention to what the fear is trying to tell me. I went last weekend, Anne-Marie, and I had an MRI. I am incredibly claustrophobic, okay? And the MRI was of my head. So I knew I was going in the tunnel, and when they do an MRI of my head, wow. And when they do an MRI of your head, they don't just put you in the tunnel, but they put a little sort of a helmet-y thing over your head before they put you in the tunnel so that your head stays absolutely still. And I knew that for me to be able to do that, it was going to take, first of all, it was going to take some chemical assistance because I'm really claustrophobic, but it was going to take me trusting myself enough and trusting the process and showing up enough that I knew ahead of time I wouldn't freak out and run away. And so what I did was, before I left, I put my hand on my heart and I told myself, I am here. When I got to the place and I was lying on the little table that they put you on before they slide you into the tunnel,
Right.
I reminded myself that I was here. I connected with my breath. I closed my eyes, and boy, nothing would have got me to open my eyes, because that would have been all over if I'd opened my eyes. But I connected with my breath. I connected with the present moment. I got through 1 second at a time of that experience, and I came through it okay. Right? We have to go through fear. It's a part of life. We move through fear to get to other things. But remembering to come at it from the present moment helps a lot. Right?